Hello everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. Today I am going to be creating a look that I absolutely adore. As soon as I saw it on my Instagram feed, I saved it. A makeup look that Amina Muaddi wore. She's a shoe designer. She has a luxury shoe brand. Her shoes are very cool. She's also like a high-end fashion influencer and she looks incredible in photos. Obviously, I've never seen her in real life, and her makeup artist is Andrea Ali. She's a Romanian makeup artist. So this is the look that I used as my inspiration today, following Andrea's instructions. I got to try out some new techniques. I got to step out of my comfort zone with a couple things, and I just love the way that it turned out. And I'm using some new products with some old favorites. Very excited to share with you all the new goodies I've been loving. What stands out to me about the base is how matte and smooth it is, powdered to perfection, and then the glow is added on top in layers. Very controlled in just those key areas. And over the last month, I've probably felt the most engaged and inspired in the makeup community than I've been in a really long time. I had been so jaded for a while and uninspired and kind of just blah. It just feels really good to have that passion and excitement reignited, and if I can inspire you to feel the same way, then that's my job done. This is an evening makeup look. My skin is bare, completely clean. I actually went over it with a face halo. I like to start with like a totally clean canvas, and this is nice because it takes off any oils that I might have accumulated, and it also is really gentle. I find this to be more gentle than a washcloth, so it's not going to kind of aggravate my skin or cause any redness or anything, but at the same time it will help me get a nice smooth canvas. And having a smooth canvas is a very important aspect of this look. So for my primer, I'm going to use Clarins Instant Smooth. This is a fantastic priming product. It's not a new product, but it's definitely underrated. And I'm really thankful to Clarins for sponsoring this part of the video. I am excited to share with you how I use this. This is a fantastic product, and it will really help me get that smooth and perfected canvas. I've got normal texture, you know, I've got some fine lines on my forehead, I've got some acne scarring, some larger pores, some, you know, hyperpigmentation. We all have our issues, right? Skin is skin, and skin texture is completely normal. And sometimes it's nice to have these little secret little makeup tricks that can kind of make all those things go away temporarily, and we can have fun and put on a really cool makeup look for the day. So this is the texture. It has a very smooth, silky texture, and this is why I prefer to use this on clean skin. I have oily combination skin, so my skin definitely does not lack any moisture. But if you have more normal skin or dry skin, or if you're more dehydrated, just make sure that the skincare prep you're doing beforehand, that you're not using other products that are also silicone heavy. It can lead to some foundation rubbing away or pilling. I kind of like my skin prep to be as minimal as possible, and I just really let this product do the work. So I'm just taking a little bit on my finger, and I'm gonna start on my forehead because that's where the light is shining the brightest, and I think you'll be able to see what this does the most efficiently. It's like an Instagram filter for your face, and I don't like to rub this in too hard. I just use light, broad strokes, and I spread this across, and look at that. It blurs away the pores, and it doesn't feel drying at all. And as you see here, I have a little Mount Vesuvius brewing on the side. So smoothing this on top will just kind of help take the edge off of that bump and just make my skin appear more smooth. You know that one filter on Instagram stories, you swipe one and it's like all your problems go away? This is like that, but in real life. Here is the base. It is lovely, and it has some added skincare benefits as well. I can wear this for an extended period of time, and I don't find that my skin gets dehydrated or looks lackluster throughout the day. Now moving on to foundation. Andrea likes to use the Pat McGrath foundation on Amina. I'm shade light medium 10 in the Pat McGrath foundation. So what I'm doing first is just dotting it on and then blending it in with a sponge. I will be adding more coverage as needed with concealer. And this foundation plays really nicely with the Clarins Instant Smooth Primer as well. I'm not experiencing any pilling, any separation. This is the same old corrector that I always use, the Sicily Phytocern Eclat in shade number 2. I'm going to be using my Clarins Everlasting Concealer. I use shade 02 Light Medium, which is the perfect under eye brightening shade for me. And I'm going to diffuse it with the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Concealer. Also going to be dotting it on any hyperpigmentation areas that I have. This is a really great all-rounder. I've been really enjoying it. I'm a big fan of the original, like the foundation. And this is a great compliment. Especially if you usually like to wear really nice and sheer foundations and then you just want to be able to add that coverage in certain areas. This is great. Now under the eyes, I'm taking the Clarins Everlasting Concealer, taking a tiny little bit on my ring finger and then just focusing it on the inner corner where I want the most brightness. I really like to take my time to make sure everything is really nice and blended and seamless. Next up is the cream bronze and contour phase, and she's using a Makeup by Mario product. I'm using my Jouer Sunset. Don't normally sculpt as much as this, but hey, we're gonna do it. We're gonna be extra sculpted today. Maybe if I contour on the zit, I will contour it away. And again, using tapping motions, not rubbing too hard. All right, this next step is really interesting and also very outside of my comfort zone because it involves some intense nose contouring. And nose contouring is something I never do. She starts the nose contouring under the brow and just kind of follows this shape. Like this. It's quite intimidating because if you don't do it right, then it just looks like you have a stripe down your nose, you know? It feels like this is too warm, so I'm going to take, I have this Burberry contour wand in the shade medium, which is a little bit more cool toned, and I think this might be a better shade for this job. And then she stops and does one of these. Like she kind of frames around the tip of the nose and she uses the contour to almost lift the tip of the nose. And then she does a little contouring thingy here. Yeah, this is not something that I would do or that I would recommend doing for like a daytime event because sunlight is not forgiving. Now I'm just going over the places where we framed the contour with the brush. I'm going over it with my sponge, again, to just make sure everything is nice and seamless. Hopefully at the very end, everything will come together. I'm going to do the under eye setting powder by Pat McGrath. I'm just gonna use my usual method under here. I'm using the NARS loose powder. This is the NARS Light Reflecting loose powder. This is a really nice brightening powder. And I'm just applying this in the center of the face first. And then whatever's left On the sponge, I'm just kind of going over it very lightly. And then, because that's not enough contouring, we're going to go on top with a powder contour. I'm using the Sculpt shade from the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. Basically setting the cream contour with the powder contour, because according to her professional opinion and experience, this also contributes to the look looking better in pictures. Instead of using a highlighter on the nose, she just uses a high concentration of powder just down the bridge. All right, we had some technical difficulties, but now we're back. For bronzer, she takes a very sheer, warm bronzer with a subtle glow. Discontinued, rest in peace, Becca Capri Coast, and with a little bit of Laura Mercier Honey Star. Now, Laura Mercier Honey Star is one of those new light-catching powders that they have. Has a really beautiful, soft sheen. I think together it would actually be a pretty combination. And I'm just using a really large, fluffy brush, doing like a subtle veil of gold warmth on the skin. All right, so I brushed off that extra powder on my nose. Then the next step is a liquid highlighter. She mixes two different Lisa Eldridge ones. This is the only kind of liquidy highlighter that I have that kind of is around that same vibe. This is the Auric Glow Lust in the shade Pyrite, and using my beauty sponge. And then she dabs it a little bit on the side of the forehead as well, just so that when the light catches the side of the face, this is such a beautiful highlighting product. What's that? Was that not enough highlighter? There's one more highlighting step. I'm going to take a little bit of the Laura Mercier Celestial Light and just like really put an extra exclamation point on the high point of the cheek. She uses a Laura Geller highlight, but I'm just going to like just add a whisper of something on the cheek, and even that was too much. So I'm going to knock it down a notch with my bronzer brush. I'm actually using the same blush she's using. She used Pillow Talk on Amina, but then she used Ecstasy on herself. And I don't have Pillow Talk blush, but I do have Ecstasy. So this is the blush that I'll be using by Charlotte Tilbury. And just softly putting it on the cheeks. And I like that she uses broad but really gentle strokes to just blend everything out together. I really, really like this cheek, even though it's so much more effort than I ever would put on a cheek. This is probably more effort than I put in my own like wedding makeup, but I mean, it's all about just having fun and playing and trying different combinations, and that's where the beauty lies, right? Going to do my eyebrows really quick. I'm just doing my usual routine. I'm gonna go in with my Anastasia Brow Freeze, then I'm gonna do my NYX brow pen, and then I'm going to set it with the Kosas Air Brow. It's definitely a look. I mean, Amina has amazing brows. Naturally, they're very fluffy and full. And I use the shade Soft Brown in the Kosas Air Brow. And it does tint my brow hairs a bit, makes them a little bit warmer. It's such a good brow product, honestly. I love it so much. It really helps me get that fluffy brow look. Starting out with Endless Cacao pencil by Makeup Forever, which I recently bought. Really great for overlining your lips, kind of creating that shadowy look. And today I'm actually using it on the eyes, which I've actually never used it on the eyes. So far I've only ever used it on the lips. Step number one is outlining the eyes with this pencil. Wow, this makes a great eyeliner color as well. This is like a perfect everyday liner color. I used to use a shade called Taupe by Nude Sticks. It was one of those chubby pencils. I actually used it up completely a couple years back, but I never repurchased, and this is a great substitute for that. And then doing a wing. And my eye shape can't handle a strong wing. I was gonna say strong wind. I mean, I can't handle strong wind or strong wings. So I guess there's some accuracy in that. She also uses the pencil to carve out the crease. This is the part that makes me nervous. This is almost like a cut crease technique. But you know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm going to. If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna remove it. And then she connects them at the end here. But the blending will be done on top. Like, so we're not blending down, we're blending up. Next step is taking a nice like mid-tone brown from the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize palette. I don't own that palette. Instead, I'm going to use this color from Ford Cocoa Mirage and just applying it where I applied the pencil, basically. Next, I'm going to use the pale color from the Ford Quad, and I'm applying it on the mobile lid. She's taking the shimmery taupe color from that Charlotte Tilbury Quad. Like, the closest thing I have to that color is this Armani Ice to Kill Stellar in shade 02. And focusing it closer to the base, like the outer corner and then the base of the lashes. I'm going to use Ray by Hourglass, and I'm going to just use my fingers. A bit more chunky than what she's using, but you know what, color-wise, this is the closest thing I have. Then I'm just taking a black eyeliner and tightlining. The next step is liquid liner. I'm taking this graphic ink liner by Clarins, and I'm just getting as close as possible to the lash line and then doing a subtle wing. Basically taking it as dramatic as I can. As dramatic as I feel comfortable with, essentially. Next, she takes a darker brown and uses that in the waterline. So I'm going to do the same thing, and then she kind of goes over and darkens the cut crease a bit too. For mascara, I really want length and separation. So I'm doing the Lancome Idole. I'm going to use whatever foundation is left to cancel out my lips. And the lip combination she uses is, there's a Huda Beauty lip liner, Tom Ford Flesh lipstick, and then a combination of 3 different lip glosses, all of which have shimmer in them. I'm going to get the look with the products that I have. So for the lip liner, I'm going to use Anywhere Caffeine by Makeup Forever. She says she overlines a lot, so I'm going to overline a lot. This is an amazing color for overlining. It's not about having the same product. It's about shopping your stash and layering and mixing things until you kind of get a color that yields a similar result. So it's like a brownish nude with a hint of peach, and it's matte. So I used the Sicily matte lipstick in shade 19, and then doing Byredo Earth Dust on top. The look really comes to life when she mixes the glosses. So she takes 3 different glosses. There's like brownish caramel, a really light milky white pink, and a coral. But I kind of shopped my stash and I picked these 3, and I'm going to combine them and apply them on the lip. And this is when the lip just really shines, quite literally and figuratively, I think. She puts them all on the back of her hand and then mixes them with the lip brush. So I'm taking Maybelline Topaz. Then for the milky white pink, I'm taking Lightstone Lip Oil by Clarins. For the touch of corally pink, I'm doing this Burberry Kisses lip gloss. So I'm putting them all on the back of my hand. I'm going to take my lip brush, this is a Bare Minerals lip brush, and just mixing them together. I'm running my lip brush through all 3 shades and then applying on my lips. An amazing lip combination. And again, I encourage you to play with what you have and combine and layer and play. One more step, setting spray. I'm going to use my Clarins Fix Makeup. I love this look and I hope that you get to try it out as well. Definitely check out Clarins Instant Smooth if you are looking for a new primer. It just makes everything look really nice and like the makeup just settles really nicely on top. And overall, I love this look and it has been so much fun having that love for makeup reignited. And as always, I'm all about inspiring you to enjoy what you have, come up with fun little mixes and combinations of products that are catered to you and you alone. The fun lies in mixing your own kind of custom cocktail and then just rocking it and feeling confident. So happy with this look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a beautiful day and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye.